Oh yes, what a blast that is. That's a 44 Magnum blast, and I'm Hickok 45. Oh boy, those were some hot ones. Those are some Remington 200 grain made throughout from fire. They're just 200 grain bullets, but they have some speed. They really truck. 44 Magnum, yes. We're going to do a little shooting with the Trail Boss. This is a 629, essentially. It's the 629-5, and it's specifically known as the Trail Boss. Pretty good boss to take along on the trail with you in 44 Magnum. This is not an old, really old vintage gun or anything. It is one that was, made in recent, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. It has the frame-mounted firing pin. As you can see, it doesn't have the key lock. It was pre-key lock, but it does have the frame-mounted firing pin, and it's of that vintage. I have put some Aaron stocks on it. Aaron's, I think it is. I don't know, stocks. I put those on just recently. I generally like small boot grips, which I usually have on my 3-inch guns, but I don't know. I just saw those somewhere. Thought I'd try them, and they do feel good. So have those on there. 3-inch barrel, not a long barrel, huh? You know me, I like short barrels, not even like long ones, but I have a special place in my heart for powerful little guns that shoot well. Well, that shoots pretty well. You know, I don't know if I would want to shoot this at 230 yards and expect to hit too much, but it does just fine. And it's a bulldog. Talk about a bulldog. This is the ultimate bulldog in a little package, 44 Magnum. Let's load him back up. Now I got a variety of ammo out here, as you can tell. Those were the 200 grain Remingtons, and we have some. I'm going to go ahead and try these. These are 240 grain hollow point Blazer, and let's just shoot some of those for the heck out. You know, let me get all the hard kicking stuff over with here. It obviously kicks a little bit. It's 44 Magnum. They use some pretty warm rounds, and it's not a really heavy gun. Now those are aluminum case. For those of you who have not been in shooting long, Blazer does make an aluminum case ammo, and it does pretty well. It's non-reloadable, of course, and used to be cheaper, a lot less expensive, because it was aluminum case ammo when it first came out, and I don't notice a whole lot of difference anymore, to tell you the truth. I think you save a little bit, but it's just what I could find. You know, it wasn't too outrageous, because I just can't seem to get anything loaded. I've got a bunch loaded, but in terms of jacketed rounds, I can't seem to get to that press and get it loaded. But now these are pretty warm. This is a classic weight bullet, 240 grains, 44 Magnum. Okay, let's see if this will take the cowboy down. This should. It's a handful, but it doesn't hurt too badly. Those are nice grips. They spread it out a little bit. This is more gravel. That's all that is, okay? Non-reloadable. So, for those of you new to revolvers, most of them are 6-shot. Not all of them. You got 5-shot ones, you've got 7-shot ones, you have 8-shot ones, and in 22 you have 9 or 10-shot revolvers. But this is a classic 6-shooter. All right, so those are pretty warm. And then I have my hand loads over here. And those are moderate Magnum loads, 240 grain bullets. That is the classic bullet right there, 240 grains. And part of the reason that's what I have shot so much over the years is the fact that you can find 240 grain cast bullets easier than any other weight bullet in bulk. And if you shoot a lot, that's something to consider, as I've discussed before. You get into a cartridge or firearm, bullet, whatever. If you're going to shoot a lot and you want to get good at it and enjoy it and not have to pay an arm and a leg, you really do have to consider what is an available round, what is most available, because they're all expensive. And you get something that a lot of people are making that's out there, and it's still going to be expensive enough. Okay, so that's an interesting little gun. It's one of those that has some popularity among mountain hikers. You know, now you really ideally would like something maybe even a little more powerful against a bear attack, but you could do worse than have a 44 Magnum, of course, with a stout load, and in a package like that, you can carry that a little bit more easily than say a 8-inch 500, you know, Smith & Wesson. Well, let's see, here I am with all these different bullet weights messing around, but that's all right. It gives me an excuse in terms of the point of impact, doesn't it? All right, I have been shooting too many pistols, too many automatics, and I am glad to get a revolver in my hand, but you know, I feel a little bit at a disadvantage. I have not shot these things much lately at all. All right, nice. That should be a click, right? Still feels good though. This gun is not an old, as I said, a vintage one or anything, but it has a nice trigger. You know, Smith typically offers a good trigger. They really do. New guns and old guns. It's rare that you get a bad trigger. These big 44s in there. Revolvers are just fun. You know, you hear me bragging about them. You know, you don't lose any brass generally. Just lay those torpedoes in there, close it up. You also don't lose your magazine very easily, do you? It's part of the gun. Well, let's just go on across the hill and see. I'll take a couple shots at the gong, see where I really do not remember the last time I shot one of these 3-inch 44s at that thing. You might remember, it's probably in a video 2 years ago or something. Let's just level it up about, oh, I don't know, halfway up the gong or so. Okay. We can get 6 on there. Pressure's building. Like shooting free throws when there's a crowd. All right. It's easy to mess up. Okay, well, looks like they're kind of all over it, but I was trying to hold around the middle. Okay, 3-inch. Yeah, one of the things I think I started doing early on in doing these videos was one of my soapboxes was showing that short-barreled guns are plenty accurate for most applications. Now, you don't want to be trying to take elk at 300 yards with one or anything like that, but even a short barrel, it's not the barrel length that makes a gun inaccurate or imprecise. You know, there's always people who want to argue precise or accurate. We typically use the word accurate even if it's not precise, right? English. But these short barrels are accurate. The problem is you don't have as much sight radius, and so the least little movement throws it off more. That's what it really comes down to. But as far as inherent accuracy, if you put this gun in a ransom rest or a vise, if you don't know what a ransom rest is, and my 8-inch barreled 44 in a ransom rest side by side, there'd probably be very little difference in terms of, you know, how well they would shoot. Okay? All right. And one of the beauties of the 44, well, if you get me talking about 44, you all might be up all night, really, watching this video, is that you can shoot Magnum loads, moderate Magnums, you know, these hot Magnum loads, and then you can shoot 44 Special. That's a shorter version of the 44 Magnum. If you, I think we have a video on that, the Magnum versus Special or something. I'll have to look at them sometime. And this is just a shorter cartridge, and it's more pleasant to shoot. And these little 3-inch 44s they're just perfect for a 44 Special. I mean, they beg to be loaded with 44 Special. 44 Special, for those who don't know, is about the same power factor ballistically as a 45 ACP, 45 auto. About the same. Bullets 240 grains, you're talking around roughly the same velocity, same power factor. In fact, I think I've told you before in a video, I use the same powder, the same load for those two. I take the powder measure off when I'm loading 45 and put it on the 44 Special. It's the same. All right, now I'll notice a difference here. And a little bit easier generally to shoot well. I say that, but I'll probably shoot worse. Let me go, notice, I'll shoot the gong, see if you notice a difference in the time lag, the bullet getting there, if I hit it. It's a lot longer to get there. A lot more pleasant to shoot though. That's neat. That one still hadn't gotten there, has it? Okay. That wasn't funny, was it? Well, there we go. I just wanted to miss a couple, show you I could miss. So, a lot longer to get out there, but let's go back to the Magnums. But very pleasant to shoot. You know, almost anybody can shoot those 44s. So this gun is actually pretty heavy. It's probably heavier than a 45 government model, you know, automatic, and you're shooting about the same bullet. All right, let's see if we can roll an animal or two here just for kicks. Oh, we'll start with that big goat. Now, this gun can be a nail driver. I doubt that I'm going to be able to drive nails. I just have not shot it much lately. There we go. Need to get it up a little bit. All right, nice. Let's try the other goat. Doesn't want to go down. We'll try him again. Giving him a little higher. Yeah, maybe a lot higher, right? All right. So for goat hunting at what was it, about 70 yards, yeah, maybe you could hit a goat. Actually, you wouldn't want to hunt anything. For those of you who don't hunt, you don't take a shot unless it's a sure thing and, you know, hit the kill zone and all that kind of thing. We're just playing on steel. Let me try those pigs over there. Because if I hit them, they will fall. Smoky powder. Can't tell where I'm going now. All right, nice. Feels good. Feels good to shoot this thing. Yep, I think I'm holding a little bit too low on most of those. It seems to hit with that round 240 grain bullet pretty much right where I level up the sights. Now that might surprise some of you at that distance, but that's where it hits. It does have a fair amount of recoil, and of course the gun's being thrown up a little bit, and that makes a difference. There's so many factors in that, so that is pretty cool. Now you know what else we have here? We have some Garrett cartridges. Again, you know, the versatility of the 44. Those are well, Garrett, if you're not familiar, you can Google it. He loads hunting rounds, really hot rounds, up to the limit, pretty much, for various firearms. And 45, 70, and 44 especially. I think maybe he has branched out to some other calibers now. But he loads, that's about a 300 grain bullet, and it's at the top of the threshold for this gun, for 44. It's a heavy bullet. It's a bear medicine. Look at that. Look at the front of that dude. So you don't have to worry about with a revolver feeding issues. So you can have a nasty front end on that thing. Okay. All right, here I go. Glutton for punishment. Really don't have anything to. Oh, we'll shoot the bowling pin here, maybe. See if I can hit him. Now these will kick a little bit. Now notice where that thing comes out in the cylinder there. Look at that. That's such a long bullet. It just barely fits in a Smith & Wesson cylinder. Whew. That's a lot of lead. Okay. Well, here we go. Why not? Mr. Bowling Pin. Mr. Grizzly. Oh, I knew I shot that. All right, but you really wouldn't mind if Mr. Grizz was like from me to John. He was coming at me. Hopefully he wouldn't get that close, but that would not bother me at all. I would want that recoil and more. No problem at all. But the 44, I'm gonna shoot a couple more shots. Let's see, let's put a few more in here. This is so much fun. I just, when I get a 44 going, I can't quit. This is the gun, this caliber, that I shot so much of back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s especially. Probably shot more 44 Magnum than anything else. You look at the videos and you see everything. 44s are in there. It's just kind of part of the fun. It's just whatever percentage it is. And you don't really, I'm sure it doesn't stand out. Wow, a guy shoots a lot of 44. It really doesn't. But if you looked at a 20-year period, before the videos, these are the guns I shot the most of, and not in this barrel length necessarily. All right, let's just give one to everybody here. I'm gonna go double action a little bit. Kicks a little more double action. But, you know, that's what you'd do if Grizz was coming at you. You wouldn't be cocking it probably, right? Or in self-defense of any type. So, 44 Magnum. If I shot everything here, I think I did, that I was going to shoot. Make sure I didn't forget something. Yeah, we got all those. Let me walk down here and take a couple more shots. I've got a couple of speed loaders with me, so we'll do that. I think I have a couple of targets left here. All right, speed loader. I'm up there. All right. Oh, we have a pot left. Take him out. And I see a 12 ouncer there, or two. Let's reload. Another speed loader. It's like Dirty Harry carried, right? Okay, calm down now. Good trigger break. When all else fails, concentrate. Focus on that trigger. He's empty. All right, I guess that's enough. Man, I'll tell you, I could shoot one of these things all day. But 44 Magnum doesn't get any better. Very versatile. A lot of people ask me why you don't have a 41 Magnum yet. Well, the 44 is just so versatile. There's so much out there for it. I never did get into the 41. You have a wide variety of ammo available, bullet heads to load, Firearms, you name it. It's very powerful, but you can load it down enough to where it's comfortable to shoot. My hand's not broken. You know, I've shot Garrett cartridges, factory 240 grain, pretty hot stuff, and then a variety of my own stuff. And I feel fine. I could shoot some more. Of course, part of that's because I got some good grips on this one, but and it's just a 3-inch barrel, light barrel, and you can tell enough. I didn't try to clear everything off over there. I just haven't shot enough lately, but we're going to be getting them out more. I miss my 44s, and it will do it. It has a nice trigger, and it's an accurate firearm. So these are sweet. If you don't have a revolver, you need a 357 Magnum and or a 44 Magnum. And what are you waiting for, right? So that's a sexy little gun. Life is good.